I tried to find someone that could be my great love. Right in front of me, I didn't realize you were my dream. So you took me by surprise. Oh yeah, even in my wildest dreams, I didn't think we were destined to be. And now you're laying next to me. Everything feels like oh yeah. Wanna give you every part of me. I can't believe this is reality.
Hi everyone, I'm going to start things off a bit differently this time and chat about how my art has evolved since coming to Japan, with some process footage as a bonus. I think a lot of the new skills I picked up come from Japan's superb collection of art and design books, such as the Color Palette book, which really helped me understand color cohesion. Similarly, I also like to refer to art books that I'm drawn to the usage of color. I love Sumiko Gurashi's sense of color repetition and balanced dispersion in the scenes. These books I use for understanding perspective and composition. I think typically these design principles are more used in the animation industry, but I've been trying to implement concept art style dynamic perspectives where the viewpoint is skewed. The pointers in the book help to reinforce the perspective logic and believability of the scene. I quite like this book that shows a good and bad composition based on the same basic scene. It really relays the strategies clearly. Another one is character anatomy books, which teach the fundamentals while balancing a stylized, cute approach similar to my children's illustrations. It's easy to digest in manga form. I would say books is my most direct source of art knowledge and growth since moving to Japan. At the same time, within the last year, I've also completed 4 book projects and 2 branding jobs, so my skills have also naturally progressed through the hours of sheer output. Dorky and I really treasure our ability and privilege to be able to live in Japan and go on adventures. We are able to have experiences a tourist wouldn't really come across, particularly with our leisurely time to venture to further places and quiet suburbs. In living in another country, you broaden your worldview and begin to add to your library of possibilities, which subtly trickles back down to one's creativity. A direct manifestation of this is in my series of Japan Life comics I've been working on, which highlights all the interesting cultural and lifestyle observations I've made. On this weekend, we went to a tulip festival in Chiba. Okay, Dorky, I invite you to make some commentary.
So here we are at the tulip farm with a nice windmill. Apparently this is located at the center of the eye of Chiba-kun, which is a character mascot of Chiba. No, Nat doesn't get to interject me while I'm talking. So, this area has a lovely Miffy mascot, and it's very, very reminiscent of Netherlands. We also got to go inside and see the windmill itself. Windy day as it is, and we got to watch the operation of a windmill turning, and we also got to see people pay like 500 yen to pick their own tulips and bring them home. So there's lots of things to do, especially with the monkey that is also there. We took a lot of videos of it, and it's not at our usual area.
The small gift shop was filled with an assortment of snacks and handmade goods. I found the crafts by special needs people to be particularly charming. We also tried a matcha soft serve. One particular highlight was visiting the produce shop filled with fresh vegetables from nearby farms. We spotted Chiba-kun branded rice.
also bought a few jams for souvenirs, and that we can give them out to other local residents near our place as omiyage.
It's a little bit rare to see kale, so I picked one up right away.
Yeah.
Instead of pet architecture, it's like strange pairings.
Yeah.
This year's sakura was delayed by rain and cold weather. The forecast kept shifting, but we managed to catch it on a nice day. Aside from the popular sakura spots in Tokyo, many smaller cities have a decent park bloom that is just as pretty and not as crowded. This is a bookstore at Daikanyama with a small exhibition of a dad's comics about his children. It was cute, and I enjoy comics like this, which evokes memories and emotion. The artist's name is Sentimental Ototan, sentimental, and then a child's way of pronouncing Otosan, dad. I found a children's magazine themed around paper crafts and paper-based activities. It feels so innovative even from just the production standpoint alone. The variety of transformations from 2D to 3D in the book was very cool. So, as I mentioned earlier in the vlog, I made a more formal start on my Japan Life comics. Dorky and I are working on Japan Life Log, a book which will encapsulate our experiences and observations in essays, comics, and illustrations. To start, I needed to learn Clip Studio Paint Pro. It was indeed a learning curve as the menus are way more complex than Procreate. However, it is a superior choice for comics in my opinion, as it's basically Photoshop plus InDesign combined. I installed it on my iPad so I could go out to cafes to work like I am now. You're able to organize layers by comic frames, create text bubbles, and manage multiple pages all within the same document in the same program. I'm still very much a beginner, so if you have any tips on making comics in Clip Studio, I would love to hear them. After my first week, I realized I definitely could benefit from a shortcut device. This is the Clip Studio TabMate. You can set all the shortcuts to your own desire. The scroll wheel I turned into adjusting brush size, and the back trigger hold to be an eraser. One game changer for faster coloring was using reference layers so that I could paint bucket fill on a separate layer but have it distinct from the line art layer. In my illustration career so far, I've built up a bit of a reputation for illustrations of detailed architectural buildings filled with little animals. So I really needed to boost my portfolio with a diverse scene of human characters. The Splatoon designs gave me a good reference to understand how to stylize character proportions. Animal Crossing is also a great reference as a thick catalog of clothing and items. I've also been interested in loosening line art or even no line art. This book teaches how to render in a way that replaces the need for a line art through shape design and color contrast. I picked up some lighting tips too. If you're someone like me that isn't as strong on drawing human characters, you can feel a bit lost on how to start. The character can feel very disconnected and lacking purpose just standing on a blank page. One strategy that really helped me was to envision objects they could interact with. Another approach is to define the key intent of the illustration. So in this one, I wanted diversity to be a strong point. So I linked it to international foods as a way to amplify and connect cultures. So now I had the basis of drawing characters interacting with food stalls. I could design actions like eating, serving, cooking, etc.
Sing, won't you sing with me? Leave everything for me. Stay the night. Oh, miss your flight. Walk through the rain with me. Get soaked to the skin, feel free. Shut the world out. Let's hang out. Oh, I used to see in colors, now it's gray. pretend. However we end, tonight we'll turn minutes into days. Tonight we'll turn minutes, however we end. Tonight we'll turn minutes into days.
That's cool.
You see that hotel off in the distance? Well, I was honored to be featured in their magazine, Tanoyaku Magazine, a travel magazine distributed at Toyoko Inn across Japan nationwide in over 70,000 rooms. It was fun to think, hey, my artwork might exist somewhere over there.
Like a restless soul. The wind that stroked your hair left your scent in the air, and the sun was almost acting as a spotlight just for you, making flowers bloom. Days are made for you. You make me weak in the knees. I'm done believing you and me. So darling, please fly away with me, and you will see. You looked away before I could say that all I want is you and to be near. Standing where you are, I'll give you my heart, peace when we're apart. But then he walked by, you see he walked by, and started to smile, got up and took him by the hand.
Thank you for joining me in this vlog and appreciate your patience for these updates. Next time, I'll be going to Nagano, including visiting an art exhibition and painting pottery. See you next time. Bye!